What's up everybody? Today you guys are in for a treat. I'm doing my first ever review of anything on this channel, and today I'm reviewing Isaiah Rivera's vertical jump program called THP. So I hope you enjoy. So to start off, just a few things about myself. Most of you guys know me. I'm Billy Duran, owner of Dunkademics. I used to be a semi-decent dunker. I'm old now. I'm 34 years old. I've had a ton of injuries, including 2 knee surgeries, herniated discs in my back, and so it's been like a really rough road ever since I was like 23 years old, so like the past 10-11 years. So it's been a struggle, and I've almost given up at times, especially in the last couple of years. So I had reached out to Isaiah to see if he wanted to do any affiliate work for THP. Instead of saying, yes, help me make money, he said, you know, I'd rather have you do the program. Like, would you be down to do that? And so I said, yeah. Started this program towards the end of January. So it's been a few months. So basically, I'm just going to give an overview of, you know, my results with using this program and how I liked it, some of the things that I didn't like, and basically just tell you guys what I thought about the program in general. So just a few things first, just putting everything on the table. I am friends with Isaiah. I am friends with John Evans, the 2 guys who run THP. So I know that right off the bat, some people might think that makes this a biased opinion. Maybe it does, but I'm going to use, you know, the results that I've gotten and try to not have any of my biases on the table and just give a solid review of the program. The second thing I want to get out there is that I have not ever done a different vertical jump program, so I can't compare this program to other programs. So when I say any pros or cons about THP, that's strictly relating to THP. I'm not trying to compare it to any other program and say that it's better or worse. So now that I got all that out of the way, let me tell you a little bit about THP. So most of the work you're gonna have is through the THP app, which is actually through teambuilder.com. I enjoy the app. It's pretty easy to use, pretty straightforward. They tell you the workouts, they tell you the sets, they tell you the reps. It shows what your max is once you've recorded a max. And it's really easy to just fill out as you go. It obviously saves all of your information day by day, week by week. Basically, they give you your workouts for the week. You know, on Sunday you should have your workouts for Monday through Saturday, and really customizing it for your progress, your schedule, and how you're doing in the program. It's not the cookie cutter program where they tell you they have a whole 3-month program laid out for you in advance. This is really a week by week thing where they adjust the weight, they adjust the reps, they adjust everything based on your progress. So even though it's not in-person training, which is probably the best kind of training, it is as close as you're gonna get because they do, you know, make adjustments. It is more catered to you as a person rather than just, you know, the general public. And then other than that, you do have access to the coaches. I mean, in my personal case, I had, you know, their phone number so I could just text them. But I think in general, they have, you know, Facebook group and WhatsApp to where you can message them if you have questions, things like that. So that's just telling you kind of what the program is. Now I'm gonna give you my review of the program. So just going through a couple pros and cons that I wrote down. Pros, they plan it out for you. That's like my biggest thing why I like this program is I've known workouts to do to increase your vertical jump, and I've done them before in the past, but I always messed it up with the amount of weight, the amount of sets, the amount of reps, how often I should be doing things. I would always get hurt, and especially with my back. So even though I knew, you know, certain workouts that I could do to increase my vertical, I would always get the training aspect of it wrong. So having them literally plan out every aspect of the program for me was amazing. You don't have to put too much thought or effort into like, what am I doing? It's just, they tell you what to do and you do it. And let me tell you, just stick to the program. That is the best advice I can give you, but I'll get more into that later. So another pro that I kind of mentioned earlier, they adjust to your schedule, they adjust to injuries, whatever else you need to adjust for, whether it's, you know, you're gonna be out of town for a little while, they can switch things up every week based on your personal needs. There were certain times where I wanted to switch days or do different things that helped out. And then especially with injuries, so I had 2 minor injuries during my time using this program. The first one that I had was an Achilles strain. Basically, they told me to get on some calf raise isos, you know, lightened up my load a little bit while it was still hurt. And then the second injury was a hamstring pull, which I've had before in the past, and I was doing sprints, and I felt it before I was doing the sprints, so I shouldn't have pushed through it, but I tried to. and I ended up hurting myself. Luckily it wasn't too bad, so they were able to kind of lighten up the load, take the sprints off of my training, adjusted from there, and now I'm back to 100% with my hamstring. So yeah, great adjustments, and it really kept me going throughout the entire process. Next thing I have as a pro is that they prepare your body to jump. And this is one thing that my prior training always lacked. I just tried to lift heavy weights and just expect to jump high and not have any consequences. And this is obviously a mistake on my part. I got injured all the time, and it's because I didn't put the proper work into preparing my body to absorb all of this impact that jumping has on your body. The first couple months I was on the program, like the first month or two, it was a lot of building up strength, and also a lot of prep work, preparing my body for force absorption. At times it seems kind of slow, like I wish I could be doing more. But that's always what I got wrong in the past, and it's what THP gets right, is they really prepare your body for what they're about to put you through. And then a couple other pros, the guys are very responsive, very informative. They answered all of my questions that I had during the process. And then they want you to succeed. And this is a big thing that I like, not just for me, but I can see it with their other clients, is that they really are more than just like your coaches. They are your fans. Like, they want to see you jump high, they want to see you hit new dunks, but like just seeing the response they give their other people that are in training, and posting them in their stories, like congratulating them for hitting new dunks and things like that, they really genuinely get excited for you if you're doing well, and they really want to help you, they really want you to succeed. And I think that's big. It's good to have somebody on your side rooting you on. It makes you want to do better, and it makes you want to put all that you can into this program. I will give a couple cons for this program, and it's not really directed at THP, just in training programs in general. So it's not necessarily their fault, but it's just things that I had issues with during the training. So some of the workouts on the app were not explained perfectly. I had to text them a couple times during my workout, asking them to explain what they had written down as the workout. So basically I would look over my workout before I went to the gym, and if I saw anything that I wasn't sure about, I would text them beforehand. That way, going into the workout, I knew exactly what I was doing. The second con is an obvious one. It's not in-person training, so they're not there with you during the workout to help you with your form, with any questions that you have on the spot. I had problems with this on some things. I wasn't confident in my form. I wasn't confident if I was doing things right. They help you to the best of their ability. I would send them videos of my lifts, and they would respond as quickly as they could, but obviously they can't just respond in 2 seconds every time. So that was something that I struggled with. But they do about as good as you can ask them to do. The last con that I have here is not necessarily their fault, but sometimes I wasn't sure how far along I should be in training, or how I should be feeling, or how high I should be jumping. And I really should have asked them, during the training, but I didn't want to bug them too much. There were a couple times during training where I wanted to stop, and I felt like I was just, stagnant and not improving. Some of it was due to injury, but some of it was just I felt like maybe I wasn't doing enough, or maybe I needed to be doing some different workouts. But at the end of the day, I stuck with it. I pretty much through the 4 or 5 months that I've been doing the program, I stuck with it probably 98%. So there were maybe a few times where I didn't do it exactly how they wrote it out, but like I said, 98% of the time, I did the exact workout that they had laid out for me. I wanted to make sure that I stuck to it and didn't give up, didn't get too down on myself for not improving the way I wanted to. Really, when you're looking at vertical jump progress, it's not a straight line up. It's really a lot of peaks and valleys, where as long as the trend is upward, then you're doing okay. So it was those downward peaks where I felt like I wanted to give up. I felt maybe I'm too old, maybe I'm not going to improve, and basically you just gotta push through those valleys and get back to the peak and realize that you're on an upward trend, and that you will continue to improve as long as you stick with the program. So now what you've probably been waiting for, my results using this program. So the good thing about me reviewing this program is that you can go on my personal Instagram and see all of the dunks that I've done since like 2016. You know where I was before this. You know that I've been struggling with injuries and all of that. You know, thought about retiring a few times. So the first thing I'll show you is February 12th, 2020 was like the last session that I have posted on Instagram, or the last dunk I have, not a full session. The last dunk I have posted on Instagram before COVID hit and all the gyms shut down. The rim is about the same as the rim that I'm dunking on now, height-wise, around 9'9". And I'm doing a basic two-hand dunk. I couldn't windmill at this point, and I was struggling during those days. A little bit earlier in February, I have another two-hander, and this is where I was basically stuck. I could do a two-hand dunk, but I couldn't windmill. I wasn't doing my reverse pumps, I wasn't doing any 360s or anything like that. Back in January 2020, I have another two-hand dunk. You'll start to see a trend here. This is a lot of just basic two-handers. So now you can see there's a big gap. After that last video, I have to go all the way back to Halloween of 2019 for a low rim session on this 8'9", 8'10" rim where I'm doing height checks with the hat. This is probably a good one. This is October 10th of 2019. I have a windmill attempt, and then I have a left-handed dunk and another two-hand dunk. At this point, I could not windmill. My two-hand dunks were pretty basic. My left-hand dunk didn't have a lot of style, didn't have like the leg kick, didn't have the distance. My windmill, the finish, I was like, you know, basically fingertips, so I was not high enough to windmill. My technique is pretty good always on windmills, but I definitely wasn't getting quite high enough to make a windmill at that point. And so now I'm gonna try to go back and find the last time that I windmilled on any height over 9 feet. I got close at dunk camp in 2019. I got close. And then I'm scrolling. Last time that I windmilled on any height, this was 9'9", back in a session with Josh Spider-Pen Wheezy and Nelson Chan, Nil Chan. I was stoked that I windmilled. This was November 28th, 2018. So it's been like 2.5 years since I've hit a windmill on 9'9". 2.5 years. I have tried many times since then, so it's not like I just gave up a couple years ago and that's why I haven't done a windmill since then. There was tons of months where I was still lifting weights, still dunking, and I just could not hit a windmill. Okay, so now where I'm at today, if you follow me on Instagram, like I said, you've seen me posting dunks. I've hit a windmill a couple times on 9'9" rims. Got a mini reverse pump, got a 360 with two hands and hang. And so basically when I started the program on 9'9", I was maybe getting, you know, halfway up the rim. This is proof of how high I'm getting now. If you look here, I have this mark just from last night. So I don't have my measuring tape with me, but that's a solid few inches, maybe 4 inches since I started THP. So the proof is in the pudding right there. You know, I've not only gained multiple inches on my vertical at the age of 34, I've also gained more confidence in my jumping. I've gone through this whole process with a healthy back, which is crazy because every time I start increasing weight and I start feeling good about myself, that's always when my back gives out and then I have to stop training. So through THP, I've been able to keep my back healthy and improve my vertical at the same time, get it to higher than I have in 3 years almost, and I'm still looking to improve. So that, you know, I've been on this program since the end of January, and I plan on continuing this program. You know, I hope to be windmilling 10 feet because I've been dunking on 9'9", so I'm hoping to windmill 10 feet at dunk camp at the beginning of August. Basically, I have unlimited good things to say about this program and what it has done for me. You know, not only have I gained inches of vertical already, it makes me confident that I can still gain even more from what I've gained already. So basically what it comes down to is that I love this program. I love working out every week, sticking to the program. I love seeing my progress. Even though it was stagnant at times, I stuck with it. It was worth the time and effort. So one thing that I also have to say, going back to the beginning, I said some of my possible biases. I did not pay for this program. They taught me for free during this time. But if I were to pay, it would have been well worth the money. You know, out of all the dumb things that people spend money on these days, this is actually something that will give you results, something that's worth it, something that'll make you feel good about yourself. And if you're really trying to learn how to dunk, to gain inches on your vertical, I really think that THP will help you out. They've got many different types of programs, whether you need just body weight or whether you have basketball season, or if you have access to weights like I do. Weights, I think, is the best way to go, but they have many different options for you. So in conclusion, this program will give you results. I'm proof, and I plan on continuing to do these workouts. I highly recommend it for anybody trying to improve their vertical jump. I think that you will improve your vertical jump if you get this program and if you stick to it and do exactly what they tell you to do. And that is it. That's the end of my first review of Isaiah Rivera's jump program called THP. So if you like this video, please subscribe, like, and comment. Let me know in the comments if you want to see me drop some jump workouts, some tips for dunking in general, some technique tips, or basically just let me know whatever you want to see on this channel in the future. Also, make sure you turn on post notifications. The LA Fitnesses, the 24-hour fitnesses are back open, so I plan on doing a lot more sessions coming up in the future. We've already done a couple, so stay tuned and make sure you turn on those notifications so that you don't miss a video.